Welcome to GP's Pangeo Perspectives, your guide to global growth, where we explore opportunities and ideas that come with global team building, business expansion, and compliance for companies everywhere.
Hello, everyone. Pangeo is an idea inspired by the 300 million-year-old supercontinent, Pangea, when the Earth's landmasses were united as one. Today, the world is reuniting once again, as businesses everywhere seek opportunities beyond borders and boundaries. So let's explore the future of business with voices from around the world as we look for success we all can share. Welcome to GP's Pangeo Perspectives, your guide to global growth. In recent years, the NFL has made a concerted effort to broaden its horizons globally, going beyond its traditional fan base in the United States, with teams like the New England Patriots, helping to lead the way by playing games in cities like London, Mexico City, and Frankfurt. These international games have been an enormous success, with sold-out crowds and growing interest in the sport globally. But it's not just about playing games in other countries. The NFL is now allowing teams to market their brands outside the U.S. and begin building their operations in new markets. This year, the New England Patriots will be both playing a game in Frankfurt, Germany, and starting to build out their international business team there as well. To help us explore what this means to the Patriots as both a business and a brand, I'm joined today by not one, but two CMOs. Jen Farron, CMO at Kraft Sports and Entertainment, owner of the New England Patriots, New England Revolution, Gillette Stadium, and the Patriot Place Entertainment Center. And GP's very own CMO, Heidi Arkenstall, who has been the leading force of our own brand reinvention over the last year. Welcome. I'm very excited to have you both here on the show today.
Thanks, Tom. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here. Yeah,
it's great to have you. This is going to be an exciting conversation, and we've got lots to cover. So let's jump in. And Jen, we're going to start with you and your amazing run of over 25 years with the Patriots.
Yeah, that's definitely a secret that you're going to have to share with a lot of other CMOs, Jen.
I will try. It's been a lot of reinvention, so it's been a great ride so far.
That's exceptional. So you've really had a front row seat to the golden period for both the New England Patriots and for the NFL. Could you give us a little history, Jen, on what you and the league have done over the years and to take American football global?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, I've been with the organization for 25 years now. So I've had an opportunity to see a lot of the evolution of how the league has been presenting itself. And I think first and foremost, when I started here, it was all about live events in the stadiums that we play in our home markets, and those home markets being, the areas where we are geographically centered. I think, with the way the world has evolved and technology and the ability for us to be connecting to fans, not just within a geographic region or what had been previously referred to as a home market, meaning X number of miles from the stadiums that we play, really the international growth of football has come from the ability to have fan bases across the globe interact with us, via games, being able to watch games and broadcasts, social media, the intranet, all of those things that have really helped to propel that forward. So, I think really what the league did is back in 2005 took a model where they said, let's see if we can, bring international football into this live event experience to another country. And, they did that with an incredible amount of success in Mexico City. They had the largest ever recorded audience for an NFL game played, and it was played outside of this country,
Wow.
Outside of where we all are selling tickets and building fan bases and stuff. And so it was really the success of that game that then led them to say, okay, if this works in one country, maybe it could work in another country. And so since then, they've taken time to build out games in not only Mexico City, but the UK, and now most recently into the country of Germany.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So the league really has explored sort of different approaches, but it's all been part of the same game plan, right? Or is there something different that's going on today?
No, I would say it really has been part of the same game plan. They've evolved what started out to be maybe just a game a year, and now they refer to it as an international series. There are now multiple games happening, in these different countries, and I really think it's about building, the global presence of football, American tackle football, and doing so in a way in which can be woven into our regular season schedule. So a lot of times, or a lot of leagues have done things before where you play exhibition games in another country, and that's we can do we could do that. We've looked at doing that before, but really the window in which the NFL season takes place, the ability to take a meaningful game, right, a home game that two teams that are either part of a division or intra-conference rivalries, to bring that to another country, just really I think brings a level of authenticity to what the fans in those countries are able to experience. It's not an exhibition game. It's not just for fun. There are real consequences
games
at
that
stake.
matter. Yeah.
Games that matter. And I think we've really seen the interest level of these fans in the countries that we're playing care, because the games do matter and have outcomes that matter as part of the regular season schedule.
Yeah, and then the games matter to the players as well, right? It has an impact on what their end of season outcome is going to be. So they're going to give it their all as well.
Great stuff. So the Patriots in Germany is a bigger story than just one game, right, Jen?
Yes.
Could you tell us or tell our listeners how this works with the league and how you're building a lasting presence there in Germany?
Yeah, sure. So I think to level set, probably the best way to start is to just say that coming off of all of these international games that the NFL has had success with, they introduced a program almost 2 years ago now that was called the Home Market Program, and now it's called the Global Markets Program. And so essentially, what it was is it gave teams like the New England Patriots an ability to determine if we wanted to have a market presence within another country. And so the league had surfaced a number of countries in which they felt like teams could apply for and have the rights to market themselves. So through this home market programs, the New England Patriots now have the ability to call what we selected Germany, the country of Germany initially, and that has been expanded now to include Austria and Switzerland as well. But that DACH region of German languaged fans, where we can go into that market and we can do all of the things that we are allowed to do here in New England in that marketplace. So we can build relationships with companies, we can sell sponsorships, we can broadcast, games on TV and radio. We can run promotions and sweepstakes and contests. We've always been able
Shift,
to. Yeah, really big shift. We've always been able to, and what I was going to say is always been able to sort of use our social media, right, or our digital presence, if you will. But that can feel a little bit, displaced, right? It's one thing to be interacting with a team on your phone or on your computer, and it's very different when that team actually comes into your marketplace and is running events and bringing players there, or alumni, or you're walking into a store or a pub or something, and there's a presence from that team there. So we've been doing a lot over the last year and a half to really find a way to immerse ourselves into Germany and to be as authentic as we possibly could.
Jen, how did you choose Germany as the market? Was it capturing and building on existing interests that you saw there, or was there some other dimension of the opportunity that made you sort of lean towards that region?
Yeah, it's a great question. The reason I think we ultimately chose Germany is because of where we stood in the beginning in terms of interest. American tackle football has been played in Germany for a long time, and so there is an inherent fan base there already. We've seen great success. We, the Patriots, had started broadcasting some of our preseason games there as early as 2017, and so we knew and seen from the data that we have, right, and the metrics that we have, that our brand was number one or number two across many of the metrics that we look at. And we felt if we were going to go into a country, not that we had to start at number one, but that it was going to give us the best opportunity to build upon that success and to really grow it in a way that felt actionable. We wanted to have a fully immersive presence, and that's something that we've been trying really hard to do.
Makes a lot of sense. So I hear you've made your first business hire in Germany through GP, right? Could
We
you tell
have.
us a little bit about how this is going to be another game changer for you, Jen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think to lean in on what I had just said, when we wanted it to feel authentic, the country that we were in, it became really important to us after winning the bid and having the NFL give us the rights to be in Germany. We started using agencies right off the ground. We needed to have a presence there, and a lot of other teams are doing the same thing. But we really made the decision that to be truly authentic and to be in the marketplace and call this a home market meant that we actually had to sort of put our money where our mouth was and say, we have an individual in this country who, is employed by us. And so we hired a gentleman by the name of Chris Noah. He is our business operations manager. He is living in Frankfurt. He is, a dual citizen, but speaks German as, probably his native language, and English as his second language. And he has just been an incredible asset to the organization, and the ability to partner with GP to be able to bring that level of employee into our organization has been incredible.
Sounds like the local hire sort of helps kind of span the cultural spectrum of, US and German cultural awareness and sensitivity that you're going to need for promoting the Patriots in Germany.
Absolutely. And we knew that, there are some sensitivities when you're however many miles away. There are different, there's translations and language barriers. Obviously, many people in Germany, if not most, do speak English. But just when you're trying to understand what's going on, there's time zone changes. We wanted to make sure that we had a person, in our presence that could advocate and act on our behalf, be giving us intelligence back. And I just think it says a lot to the fan base when they show up in an event or they're interacting with somebody and that individual is able to say, I live here, I work here, I'm from here. That makes a big difference in our opinion.
Yeah, and I think it reflects a real commitment and investment from the Patriots in Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. And to, I think for the relationship with GP, the ability to be able to, very turnkey for us, be able to stand up an employee and have somebody come on board was what was, I think, such a unique part of the partnership that we have together.
Hire locally, think globally.
Yeah. Did Chris work for the Patriots before Germany? So he was new to the Patriots.
Yes, he was new to the Patriots. We had met some individuals who knew of him. He had actually been a general manager of an European Football League team in that marketplace. So he had never worked for us. Not somebody that was, even kind of a consultant or a contractor or anything like that. We really wanted this to be, kind of a new hire, and just found that his credentials and the qualifications that he had made him the perfect person for the role. And then we were able to partner, with your team, Heidi, and the folks at GP to bring him on board.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, Heidi, over to you. So in April, the Patriots were also awarded Austria and Switzerland as additional European home markets, which just reinforces how the global passion for American football continues to grow rapidly. Any worries about quickly onboarding new international employees for the Patriots there?
No, I mean, I think when the time is right for the Patriots to bring local employees, into those countries and start to continue to build out what their presence in those markets looks like, where they're ready to support. GP can hire people on behalf of customers in, over 180 markets around the world. And I think, the benefit that we give our customers is really to enable that flexibility for them to grow when they need to grow, to pivot as needed. As Jen's talked about, the NFL has been at this for, 20 years almost in terms of global expansion. And I think, what's really interesting about this story is, obviously in the US and globally, the Patriots and the NFL is a huge global brand, but their global expansion can take time. And when it makes sense to put people, into local markets, that can be very different. We see a lot of small customers who move very quickly to hire people in markets outside of their home market, whether that is for, resources for sales, and other types of expansion. And, in other cases like this, you can be a huge global brand and still need to pace the right time for when you bring people in markets. So I think, when they're ready, we're definitely ready.
Yeah, and I made my first trip to Austria not that long ago, so it's really unique. I think the notion that we thought when we first started this that we would probably just service it with employees here in Foxborough in New England, and we'd make trips to Germany every couple weeks or months. It quickly became a reality of it's just again, that's not sustainable to be authentic and to have our boots on the ground. So we'll probably use this year to really understand what we need to do and how to expand into Austria and Switzerland. But knowing that GP is sort of there by our side and ready when we are to help us, bring on even more employees is incredibly valuable.
That's great to hear. Makes a big difference. Knowing you've got that possibility to expand when you want.
Absolutely.
So let's dive into what's happening in the upcoming season. Right, there's a lot happening. The league has announced 5 games for 2023 international series, including 2 UK games in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, another one in the world-famous Wembley Stadium, including 2 more, including the Patriots-Colts matchup in Frankfurt Stadium. So the momentum here is incredible. And from what I've heard, the demand is through the roof. So after all these years, how does this global growth and passion for the game feel for you, Jen?
Yeah, I think I've had the benefit because of my time here with the Patriots to have gone to a number of these international series games. The Patriots have played in 2 prior, both 3 actually, 2 in the UK, excuse me, and 1 in Mexico. And they're exciting, right? It's fun to compete somewhere else and see this fan base. Germany this year feels just really unique and different because it is our home market. I had a team that was in Frankfurt and Berlin and Dusseldorf this past week, just interacting with our fan base, giving away tickets to the game, and really getting ready for, what's happening in the fall. And it just feels it feels different. This feels really different in terms of what we've done from when we played in the past. Before, it felt like a game that was not, that wasn't ours, and we were just going to show up and compete and come home. And this one feels like we're coming there to make a statement, right? We're coming there to interact with our fan base, and to build up to the game, and doing all kinds of things. Again, not just this month, but what we've done over the course of the past year, and what we'll be doing to get ready for the game. And that'll include watch parties, events, activations. We'll bring our Patriots planes. We're talking about bringing Super Bowl trophies, all of the things that you would get if you were a fan in New England, right? We want to bring that to Germany. Yeah.
Jen, what's the stadium capacity there?
Yeah, the stadium capacity is about 51,000 people. So it's a small.
And do you expect it to be full?
Oh, yes, totally sold out. So they had tickets for both of the games that are happening at Frankfurt Stadium have gone on sale and sold out almost instantaneously. It was reported that they had as many as almost 3 million people in queue trying to secure tickets for those games when they went on sale. So demand is incredible and really something that I think the league and all of the teams should be proud of.
And it's a bit more than just selling tickets to games, right?
Yeah. So again, the ability to call ourselves a home market team in these countries allows us to do all kinds of stuff. So one of the events that we had done this past or recently was with a women's shelter in the city of Frankfurt, right? We, again, trying to be as authentic as we can. We want to think about some of the causes and sort of the pillars that are important to our brands here, and those same brands that are important, to us in New England need to be important to us in whatever market we're going into. So, we're doing watch parties. We're trying to be integrated into the community. We're looking at trying to find ways to bring flag football to the marketplace. We're having constant B2B interactions where we're looking to really, create other partnerships with German-based companies and create sort of that transatlantic business, right? That's good for us here in New England and good for the region of the DACH region in general in the country of Germany.
Wow, that's great stuff. So Heidi, over to you.
Mhm.
How is GP driving engagement and enthusiasm with its fan base today? Could you tell us about how it's moving beyond just global employment to a much fuller set of products that power global growth?
Well, I like the idea of calling our customers our fans. I hope
Right?
we I hope we work with them in a way that makes them a fan of ours. That's for
Absolutely.
sure. But I think one of the big things about the way we approach working with companies is really that partnership approach, right? And so with the employment of record model that we've enabled, that's allowed companies like the Kraft Group to hire in Germany without having to go through setting up their own entity or subsidiary, which, can be a long, involved and very costly process. We've enabled that hiring step and putting somebody on the ground there. But, what we recognize, and I think you can see reflection in what it's taken for the NFL and the Patriots to get to where they are now, is that it's a lot more than just hiring somebody, right? The strategy that companies need to put in place to evolve their global expansion, it changes over time. The markets are so dynamic, and the ability to pivot and change and really understand a market outside of your own home country, is challenging. And so, what GP is really doing is taking all of the expertise and the data and the insights that we've developed over the last 11 years and building that into a new suite of global employment products. And so those products will really help provide companies with the insights they need around hiring, around competitive offers to, great talent like Chris, if they want to bring them on board, making sure that, they have benefits and the right kinds of support from an HR perspective, and really enabling what we call now global growth technology, right? So really providing, beyond just the hiring enablement, the whole suite of products that a company needs to really support their global growth.
Wow, and having that agility, and being able to retain the talent as well, is super important. Jen, is there
And
something you
yeah,
want to
I
say?
just was going to jump in and say, and I think we were able to look at GP as sort of the expert in Germany, right? We didn't know,
Yeah,
again, what is a competitive salary? What does vacation time look like? What does what's paid, what's unpaid? All of those things that we sort of know in the markets that we are hiring here for, for our employees. And we're a global business already, the Kraft Group, but not in every country. And so we needed to lean in on the expertise of GP to say, help us navigate this and make sure we get it right, regardless of who the person or the talent is in each case. We want to make sure that we are representing ourselves appropriately, and GP was there to be able to help us activate that.
that's great. That's great. Listen, let's talk tech for the Patriots. Technology has played a significant role in helping teams like the Patriots expand their reach beyond North America. And it started in a straightforward way with Patriots.com. Could you tell us, Jen, how you see the arc of technology playing out as the game goes global, where it started, where it is today, and where it's going?
Yeah, sure. So the Patriots have always looked at ourselves as sort of leaders in the sports and entertainment space. To your point, Thomas, Patriots.com, we were the first team, professional sports team, to have an internet, a website. That's something that we're incredibly proud of.
What year was that?
1996, I believe,
Okay.
97 maybe. We did the first podcast ever done in sports, definitely, and maybe one of the first podcasts ever done. So we've had sort of this base around us of saying, how do we interact with people just not, again, in the region that we are, in the area we are? Because not everybody can buy a ticket. Not everybody has a seat at the table or in the stadium. So for us, Patriots.com was a way to connect with fans that were displaced in many cases. And technology has allowed us to continue to do that, right? So the suite of social products that we now have the ability to use, all of the different platforms that exist, allow us to use tech in a way that has interactive moments and engagements and experiences for fans, regardless of where they are. So we've moved from kind of just this live sports events, and thinking about technology as Wi-Fi in the stadium, or video board interactions, and how can you do all that, to how do we use technology to engage and interact and excite, and then how do we measure it, right? It's one thing to be able to put all that content out there and to produce um, interesting, whether it's podcasts like this, or different programming, but does it matter, and who's listening, who's watching, and then what more can we be doing on a continuous basis, I think, is how we like to think about it.
Speaking of the fan experience, that brings us to the partnership between the Patriots and GP. This unique opportunity that we're sharing, and the incredible new GP atrium at Gillette Stadium. It's a first of its kind fan experience, with a whopping 50,000 square feet. It's about 4,650 square meters of year-round fan hospitality and function spaces, including 2 balconies overlooking the field. I mean, wow, right? It's exceptional. Jen, how does this change the game for your fans as we head towards week 1?
Yeah, the wow effect is wow. We've been doing a lot of media tours recently and bringing individuals through the space, and I think without question, as people walk into the GP atrium and look at it, they just think to themselves, it just feels different, right? It is a large space, as you've referenced, but it's intimate, right? As big as it is and as grand as it is, it has a warmth to it, and where it's situated, I think, in the stadium, in the north end, it really is the anchor to that part of the stadium that was before, an open end of the stadium. It becomes this defining piece. The two-tiered balcony that you refer to gives the fans that are in the space the ability to go outside and watch the gameplay, but it gives them both this indoor and outdoor experience. And I think for us, so much of coming to a game is around these communal interactions, meeting with friends, family, business customers, right? So the space will be used in a variety of ways, both on game day and non-game day. But I've heard it referred to as sort of like the new indoor tailgating location for, at Gillette Stadium. And I think for our season ticket members that are utilizing the space on game day, this will create a new tradition for them, something that they hadn't done before. They'll come early. They're proud of being members of GP Atrium. They want to be in the space. They want to interact with one another. And I think just the vantage point from where it sits within our building is incredibly unique, and we're thrilled. We can't wait for it to open later this year.
And Heidi, I think you've had the opportunity to take a sneak peek, right?
I have, it was definitely deep in construction when I was standing, I think to the point that somebody pointed and said, don't step there or you'll fall right through. But I felt safe the entire time. But it is a spectacular position in the stadium. And I think, when it's completed, and it's well on its way to completion now, and the finish and the fit out there is just going to be an amazing experience. And I think, for us, it's a great, symbol of our partnership with the Patriots.
Yeah, I was going to jump on what Heidi said and just say it. I think it helps to connect, right? Sometimes there are partnerships that we have that are more media, more more hospitality related, but this really gives the Patriots and GP an opportunity to talk more about who each other is, right, and to leverage some of that, and from a B2B standpoint, both for our guests that are in the space, and then for GP to be introducing their product and their company to others, I think is going to be very well received.
So it really does reflect a true partnership that's not just a simple sponsorship, right? And I think that's what's so extraordinary about this. I love the indoor tailgate part of it. With you have all the comfort and camaraderie you would want, but in an indoor tailgate, super exciting.
Yeah, I think, as Jen's talked about authenticity, right, and the importance to the Patriots of really engaging with their fans in an authentic way. And I think this is another extension of authenticity for both of us, right? That, as you said, Tom, it goes beyond just being a sponsorship, but really reflects, the business relationship we have. It's a great story, for us in terms of, enabling, a huge brand to become, much more global, and to be able to tell that story together and then to create that experience around it. I hope is going to be a really great showcase for what we can do for other companies as well who are looking to expand globally.
Okay, one last question. It's also in the spirit of partnership. For our two amazing CMOs that we have with us today, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we can create together in this moment of incredible growth for both the Patriots and the game of American football itself. Who'd like to go first?
So I'll jump in. I think that, listen, I think that so much of what we're going to do together is really figuring out what the future looks like. The fact that the Patriots are now in this one market gives us incredible, hope for the ability to do this not just in one market but in other markets. And I think it's really about sort of assessing what we're doing, seeing where we're successful, learning from some of our mistakes of which we're not perfect, but then leaning in on the relationship and the partnership and seeing where we collectively can evolve. We like to say here that once we have a partnership, it's really about transforming our businesses together. It's not just here's what you have and this is this is the extent of it. It's okay, what's good for your business, what's good for our business, how do we move forward together? So as the global employment product changes, like let's figure that out, let's work together as the economies change, as the growth of the NFL, again, not just maybe playing games in Germany and the UK and Mexico City, what other markets are they willing to take regular season games to? And then how do we, and can we bring that to GP and say, here's another team that, that is looking to employ somebody in one of these countries. Can we make an introduction for you? I think that's really where we like to see the level of partnership and that engagement on a go forward basis.
Yeah, I think the prospect of that is so exciting for us, right? This is exactly the kind of, global growth story that, we're really being created around and, is our mission to support. And so I think, the flexibility and being able to pivot and partner with you and then the broader, sport is a huge opportunity for us. And it's one that we're really excited to be part of. So I think, we don't know what the future holds, right? But we can certainly be ready for, whatever that looks like and then make all the changes we need to really take advantage of the growth that's out there.
Yeah, it seems to me that however it plays out, growth is definitely on the horizon. And we can plan for success, whichever way it goes. Well, listen, what a positive and exciting note to end on. Let's all plan for success, everyone. I want to say a big thank you to Jen and Heidi for their generous time and expert knowledge that they've shared with us today to help us go through our exploration on changing the game, how the New England Patriots are going global. And thank you to our listeners. We hope you gained some valuable insights from this conversation. And if you enjoyed the show, please follow us and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. I'm Thomas Merchant, and this has been Pangeo Perspectives, presented by GP. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.